you cannot have faith and control in the same context. As I was praying this morning, and the Lord was, I just felt a place of worship and a place of rest. But I was led to Isaiah 41:10, where it talks about, the Lord is with us. The Lord is our God. He will strengthen us and He will help us. He will hold us up with His victorious right hand. And one thing I know about the right hand is that it stands for a hand of righteousness. It talks about a hand of victory, but it also talks about a hand that is more dominant than the other hand. It talks about a hand that is more dominant than the other hand. And a lot of times we want to work with the right hand instead of being held in the Lord's victorious right hand. And so what does that look like? You're trusting God for a miracle in a specific area, and it's an area you struggle with control if time and time again you're moving forward and God tells you, I didn't tell you to go that way. Or you're planning and the Lord is like, here you go again. You're trying to move with your left hand and I'm trying to hold you with my right. And if you would just stay in my right, it promises victory. But we never see the victory because we're always moving into the left. And so a lot of times, the only thing between you and the breakthrough you're waiting for is your ability to stay in the wait, your ability to allow the Lord to finish what He's doing with His victorious right hand, to trust that if He promised it, that He's going to do it. Faith is the substance of all things hoped for. It's the evidence of things not seen. If all you're seeing is the power in what you could do with your left hand, and you're not seeing the glory that is to come with the Lord's victorious right hand, you will always choose the left. And so I encourage you to slow down and meditate on the goodness of God. There are times, and I've shared this plenty of times on my page, that I have these moments of anxiety, of fear, and they come from me, being really trained on working my left. But I feel the Lord has me in the season where I'm having to, wait, or I'm having to trust more, I'm having to depend more. And the Lord began to reveal to me that that's because where I'm going, where He's taking me, what He's assigned me to, is going to require a lot more than my left could ever do. And I was reading this morning too, Philippians 4, where it talks about all of our needs are supplied by His riches in the glory. It takes time to get in the glory. If anybody knows, it takes time. It takes time to get out of you and to allow the Spirit of the Lord to be made manifest in your life completely. Not this, I'm at church on Sunday, but that you're moving and you're walking in the Spirit. It has to be trained. It has to be learned. And because we spend a lot of our adolescence, before we come to Christ, before we really submit to Christ in our flesh, we have to learn the ways of the Spirit. And learning the ways of the Spirit, one of the things that comes with that is waiting on instruction, waiting on direction, because we need His glory, we need His strength, we need His wisdom, and that may not come tomorrow. And so it's the realizing that, being okay with that, understanding that His way is worth the wait. His way is better. And when I say the wait, I'm not talking about these years, because I don't believe that the Lord takes a long time to do what He wants to do. When I say the wait, it's however long it takes for you to get out of you and you to get into who He's calling you to be, so that you can sustain the blessing that is coming to you, right? So that you can sustain that place. And so that looks like when a lot of people are doing this right now. You're in consecration, you're in fasting. That's not for God to that's not for you to make God do what you want Him to do. That's not what fasting does. Fasting gets you in alignment, because you're not moving in your flesh. You're not saying yes to everything that your flesh wants, right? The same thing with prayer. The thing I know, you're really praying when you get out of just what you want, and you're like, Lord, what are you saying to me in this season? What are you doing on my heart? Who are you calling me to go to today, right? You're getting out of you and you're getting into the things of God. Let your kingdom come, right? And so when your life looks more like, Lord, let my will be done, then you know that there may be an alignment issue, a heart issue that has to be submitted to the Lord. And so I want to encourage you, you can't have faith and control. You can't have faith and control. Faith says, I believe that the Lord is in control. I believe that the Lord is the master of this situation. I believe that the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. So that's recognizing, even when it looks like all you're doing is wanting, that you're not wanting. And this is the way of the Spirit. This is the way of the kingdom. So I want to encourage you with that this morning. By the way, if you want to learn how to apply this concept to your day-to-day life, and you're like, I've been trying this, I feel like I've been good at this in some seasons, other seasons has been harder, then you should join my 4-week program. I'm starting this Friday. I'll be meeting with ladies for 4 weeks to teach them how to implement these strategies, teach them how to implement these ways of life by way of the kingdom, so that they can be all that God has called them to be. Many of them are mothers, they're leaders, they are those that know that there's something more for them to take hold of, but maybe they've been in a season of stagnation, they've been in a season of fear, of doubt, or whatever the case may be, and they don't want to be trained by that anymore. They want to be trained by the living God. They want actual tools and concepts. If that's you, you need to be there. You still have time to get in. It's only $50, $50 investment for 4 weeks. That's $15 a week. That's your Starbucks a week. Can you sacrifice your Starbucks for your purpose? Can you sacrifice your Starbucks for your future? I think you can. I think I'm going to see you there. And if it's not for you, share this video with a woman of God that has been looking for this, because it's going to be a support group. I'm only accepting 10 ladies, but I still have some seats left. But it's going to be an intimate space for us to really chat. I'm going to share a lot of transparency about my story and how I am where I am. And, it'll give women a sense of community while they are building what God has called them to build, no matter the season. I'll see you there. Thank y'all. Bye.